Hello, I'm Erica Nicole, and you're watching Rooted and Rich. And today I want to talk about canceling your debt, getting out of debt, because the number one problem that I hear people talk about is their debt. I like to talk about investing. I like to talk about, savings. I like to talk about all these things with all these financial tools, credit, and a number of things. But until people get out of debt, it is very hard for them to do anything outside of just paying off the debt. And so today I want to get at it because if once we get our debt paid off, the possibilities that we can do with our money are endless. I want to tell you a little bit about myself. So when I graduated high school, I got good grades. I got a full ride scholarship to a small HBCU. And in that time, I didn't accumulate any student loan debt. I didn't get my first credit card until I was 24, and I avoided paying interest like the plague. My dad bought me a car in college that I rode until I was able to get a car. And so coming out of college, getting my first job, I had no car loan. And so I was very blessed that I was able to avoid debt for a very long time. And so with that, it really taught me of like magic of not having debt, the magic of not having this weight on your back that you carry everywhere, how it slows you down. It was really amazing to be able to speed up in my investing, retirement investment, and savings because I didn't have these backpack full of rocks holding me back, keeping me buried in debt, and more so like a camping backpack, the big one that keeps you slow going. All right, so getting out of debt. How do you get out of debt? You guys, the answers are so simple but so hard at the same time because getting out of debt takes a mindset shift. It takes not being okay with debt. A lot of times we are really okay with debt and we don't think we are. Maybe some people don't feel that they're okay with debt because they have a savings or because they're able to go on vacation or they're able to do it. But think about how many Americans right now have a car loan. And I'm not knocking your car loan. I'm not saying that you can't, if you can afford it, that you shouldn't have it. But people are very comfortable with debt. I know in my generation, we were taught like, go get an education, take on a student loan debt, then go get a car loan debt, then go and get mortgage debt, go and go and go and get these debts. And I'm not saying all debt is equal because all debt is not. Some debt you take on as an investment, like a student loan, even though nowadays people are waking up and realizing that the jobs aren't paying what the degrees cost. And so that's a whole nother message for a whole nother story of making sure that you get a degree that pays you what the cost of that education costs you. But we are so comfortable. And I think this new generation is realizing like, I can't get this comfortable with debt because it will swallow me whole. It will, give me anxiety. It will slowly kill me. The stress from the debt will slowly take away from my energy and from my feelings about money, my good feelings about money, and it'll make me dread money and avoid it. And so I think that we have to shift our mindset to really want to avoid and feel like all debt is bad. Most debt, majority of debt is bad, and paying interest is something you refuse to no longer do once you get out of debt. Once you shift your mindset from being okay with that to now wanting to attack and eliminate it like it is cancerous, then you can really shift your actions because really it starts in your mind, but you shift your actions. So two things has to happen. One, we got to get a plan to get out of debt. And I need you to get out of the minutia and the weeds of your debt. And I need you to come up like 1,000 feet higher. And I need to see your debt from the top of the building, from the top of the jungle. I don't need you, like, oh, I'm going to pay $100 here. I'm going to pay $100. I need you with a plan, looking at it holistically. So the first step in paying off the debt is saving. And I know that sounds counterintuitive. Like, I'm supposed to be paying off debt. How am I going to save money? But the first thing is we need to create some margin because when you don't have a savings and you're paying off debt, life comes knocking at the door, snatching money from you. Here's a child needing to go to the emergency room because they broke their arm. Here comes your car needing a new tire or a repair. Here comes, an unexpected, my kids grew and I wasn't prepared for it. And now I need to go and buy shoes and some outfits because they just had a growth spurt and I need to spend $300 or $400 getting them some wardrobe. things are going to happen. And so the best thing you can do is to save. Now, times have changed, and what you need to have saved is a little bit different, and it will depend on your area. So, I want you to use the wisdom in this, but I would say $2,000 because you should be able to fight any emergency that you have with $2,000 most of the time outside of job loss. So, if you have $2,000 saved up, you should be able to weather, most emergencies. If you live in a higher cost city like California or New York or Baltimore or cities on the coast, then you may want to have 3,000. You're going to want to save this up as quickly as possible. So if that's working overtime, a bonus, income tax, whatever the case may be, I want you to pay the minimums on all your debt, and I want you to get this pool of money here. Next, I want you to prioritize your debt. I want you to think about your debt in prioritization. And part of this is the highest interest rate. So your credit cards are going to be your highest interest rate. Those are going to be the ones that we want to eliminate. Next, it can be car loan debt because that interest rates have gotten extremely high, almost anywhere from 6 to 8 to 10% to 13%. I've heard some crazy stories. And then we want to go into student loan debt, and then we want to go into mortgage debt. Mortgage debt being the last debt because that is more of an asset, and that is a different type of debt. And we'll talk about that. But we can eliminate mortgage debt as well. We don't have to wait the full 30 years and pay millions of dollars to the bank as well. We can eliminate that debt, but we want to prioritize our debt starting with the highest interest rate, the credit card debt. Now, as we think about our plan, there is a tool that I want you to use to help you with it. And that is a debt repayment calculator. You can Google this, and I'll link one in the description of the video. And so you can use this repayment debt calculator to really help you think about time horizons. How long would it take me to pay off this debt? If I paid an extra $100, does that shave off a year, 2 years? How much? All right. So I want you to really lean into your tools, your debt repayment calculator. The other things that I want you to do is this. You got to take a bird's eye view at your finances. So I want you to get out all of your bills. I want you to get out all of your income. And I want you to sit down and I want you to see where you can cut back. If you're grocery shopping and you're spending $500-600 a month, where can you go to $450? Where can you cut $50? If you have a high car loan and you're in a household and you have 2 cars, can you cut a car? Can we pay down some of the car and get rid of a car? Can we eliminate some debt? Where can we do it? If you have subscriptions, you have a ton of subscriptions. I have a ton of them. You might have a ton of them. Where can we cut? Where can we cut our subscriptions? I want you to look at your finances, and I want to look at all of the things that you're paying. And I want you to even look at insurance and call around and see if you're getting the best rate. I want you to cut wherever you can cut, because when you go into your finances and you find places for you to cut, this is going to be what you use to help you pay down the debt quicker. I also want you, as you're looking through your finances, to look around your home. What can you sell? What can you get rid of? What can you get extra money with? And I don't want you to sell everything, but I want you to really be honest with yourself. If you can have a garage sale, can you put some stuff on Facebook Market? What can you do to hurry up and get rid of things that are laying around that are not bringing you value, that you're not really using? Because a lot of us have a ton of stuff and that you can make money. What skills do you have? I braid hair, so that's always helpful for me. What do you do? Do you help? Can you help with cooking? Can you help with, anything? What can you do on the side? Can you DoorDash or, Amazon Flex? What are some side hustles you can do to bring in extra money? Because paying off debt is going to require you to change your lifestyle. Is there a part-time job you can get? Every $100, every $50, every $20, it counts, and it is driving the debt down. And I don't want you to despise, small beginnings or little numbers at first, because the more you pour at the debt, the quicker you get it down, the quicker the debt disappears. All right, so now we have saved our money. We've taken a bird's eye view. We've used our repayment tools to kind of figure out how long it will take us to pay off debt. And now we're cutting out all unnecessary spending. I'm sorry, but the birthday party is going to be at the house this year. I'm sorry, but there is no vacation this year. I'm sorry, but there is no extra money to shop. There is only paying off debt. The biggest thing that you can do yourself a favor with is to be honest, not only with yourself, but with others. Invite others into your debt repayment journey. And I'm not saying that you have to put it out on social media, but that is one way to hold yourself accountable and so that people know, don't ask me to go with you to such and such. I'm not going this year. I'm paying off debt. When you don't invite people, they tend to ask you to do a lot of things. Let's go here. Let's go there. Let's do this. Let's do that. So inviting people or letting people know your journey or sharing your journey can be a number one way to hold yourself accountable because now you've said it out loud and people know about it. And also to keep people from really asking you to do stuff when you're already on a journey of paying off debt. So the thing that I want you to do now is I want you to snowball your debt. I want you to look at the littlest amount of debt you have, starting with credit card debt. So we're categorizing. Remember that we're going to start with credit card debt first. And I want you to pay the smallest amount off. And I want you to take that money and snowball it into the next debt. And I want you to continue this. The reason we're going to do the snowball method is because you need some wins early on up front. So if you have a credit card for $500, pay that off first. Pay that off, then take the money you will put into there and put it to the next card, and so on and so on and so on until you eliminated the credit card debt. The reason that I want you to do this is because psychologically, paying off debt is more mental than it is anything else. And so once you start to give that dopamine hit of I paid this off, I've accomplished something, then it encourages you to keep going because debt is one of the hardest things to do in finances. And when you're saving or investing and you're seeing the money go up and up and up and up and up, it's fun. It's good to look at your accounts. But when you're paying to the abyss and you don't even remember what all you're paying for a pizza that you ate a year ago. You're paying for some clothes that you don't even know what they are, or you're paying off a vacation that you took and you need another one. That's hard. It's hard to pay off. It's hard to go back and remember those things because you've already got the enjoyment out of them. So there's no enjoyment in that. And so you're going to get enjoyment by paying off the debt. Now, if you are very disciplined, you can start with the highest interest rate first, but that is for my very disciplined people. And a lot of people that are in debt don't have a lot of discipline. So start with the lowest amount first and tackle the debt. Then I want you to move to car loan debt. Now, might be controversial because I know people are okay with paying their car loan. As long as their paycheck covers them to pay their mortgage and their rent, their car loan, the food, and do a little bit extra, people are okay living with car loan debt. I don't know why. I don't like to, but people are okay with it. I've had 3 cars. I've had 2 car loans, and I've always paid my cars off within 2 to 3 years. Like I hate having a car loan. I like my cars paid off. One of the reasons because when you total your car, you can get the full value. You can use that to buy another car. You're not paying off a loan. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't like having car loan debt. If you're like me and you want to pay off your car loan, that is the next debt you tackle after the credit card debt. You can pay off the car loan. This is really interesting because now car loans go out to 7 years. But if you actually pay even just $100 more a month on your car, you can shave that time down to half. So it is really important that you really think about using that repayment calculator tool because it is simple interest to pay the car off. So you might get a car loan that goes out 5 years. They tell you how much you pay a month, but that amount that you pay a month incorporates both the interest and the actual principal. And so what I'm going to tell you to do is that the more of the principal you pay down, the less interest you do. So I want you to start to make what I would call principal payments. So you pay your actual car loan, your car note, and then you make a payment to the principal. Most car loans, you can do this within an app, and you can say principal payment only, and you can select that and you can pay it. And I want you paying it to the principal because I don't want you wasting money on interest. I want you to take your extra payments and apply it to the principal. This will also cut down the amount of interest you pay over time. So this cuts down what the banks were going to get from you overall. The bank would have gotten, another $5,000-$6,000 from you in payments. Well, they're going to cut it down to $3,000. You're going to you're going to slash in half how much you're giving to the bank. Though you don't notice that you're giving money to the banks, because when you sign up for the car, the interest is already calculated into the payment. You are giving money to the banks. And so you want to be aware of that, and you want to pay that off. Next will be student loan debt. And you have to be really careful about this, because I know there's student loan forgiveness, and federal loans can be, federal loans are a little tricky. And I did not have student loan debt, but I want you to investigate your loans. There are federal loans, your private loans, and I want you to pay off your private loans first, because those are the loans that don't have any grace that come with them. There's no opportunity for forgiveness with those loans if you work. And so start with the private loans first. Anything that is not federal, start with those loans first and tackling those. Now, once you get to the student loan debt, because it is an investment, and I consider it more like mortgage debt, but at the end of the day, it still is a huge weight on people. I would say I would start to up my emergency fund. So once you get through with your credit card debt, if you can afford your car loan nicely and still afford money to save, start to save, I would say here's where I would start to build my emergency up to 3 months to 6 months after I get rid of the credit card debt, right around there. And take that money that you are paying to those credit cards and start to put them into the emergency fund and build it up. Once you have about 3 months, you can start to put all that money that you are putting into the emergency fund to the car loan. Or if you already have an emergency fund, start to put that to the car loan. So you can start to work on that and to get yourself secure. I always think about building up an emergency fund, because one of the biggest things that you can encounter is job loss. And I think it's important that even if you are in a two income household, you need to know that, hey, if I lost the income, how long would it take me to replace it? And how bad do we need that income in order to survive? And so really start to build up that emergency fund. Alrighty. So once you have paid down the debt, I want you to start to live within your means. I want you to start to, maybe incorporate some fun things, but keep yourself humble. Don't say, I pay off all this debt, now I can go and do whatever. Start to really change your lifestyle. Allow you to change your lifestyle and think about other ways you can save. You can build up your emergency fund to 3 to 6 months emergency. You can start investing in your retirement 3%, 6%, up to 15% or more. You can start to think about things that you want outside of, your day-to-day expenses. I want you to start to think about, where you may want to live. Do you have a goal of moving to a new state or a new city? What is it that you want out of life? Because now you are free to move about the cabinet. You're free to do with what it is that you want and desire. And I wouldn't waste my money on clothes, shoes, perfumes, all of these things, and not really understand what it is I want for my family, for my kids, for my future, instead of just like allowing my money to go back to things. So if you found this video helpful, give it a like or a thumbs up. And then if you enjoy this type of content, I try to post at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. And if you like this type of content, subscribe, because I really want to help people on this channel really realize their best self, and paying off debt is one of the quickest ways to do that. I hope this video helped you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.